Friday on the Voice of Texas, AM 700 KSEV. Gratified you chose us this morning. How are folks dealing with this? I wanted to get some insight, so we always check in with our friends at Synergy Benefits. Tina Macey joining us today. She's a benefit planning specialist, worked with for more than 20 years in the healthcare industry. Tina began her career on the insurance carrier side, working as an account executive for United Healthcare. She now works with Synergy Benefits, helping employers all over the United States develop and implement cost-effective benefit programs. Tina, thank you so much for being here on the Voice of Texas.
Thank you so much for having me.
So
I have to tell you, as a mother of a Marine, I can definitely sympathize with, I don't want money coming from my son who works hard for his country and going into a wrong-headed program. So I completely agree with that.
Well said. Thank you very much for that. And there are a lot of folks in this audience who would agree with you. And on the practical level, I mean, there were a lot of folks back in 2014 making the calculation, hey, instead of paying all these exorbitant costs for Obamacare, I'm just going to pay the penalty. And steadily and slowly but surely, that's not going to become a viable option. And we talked about this whole death spiral concept with Ed the last time he was on with us from Synergy Benefits. But I want you to first deal with the increase this year. How is that hitting people that you deal with when they go, oh, my gosh, it's almost 250% over the fee that was last year? What are they telling you?
Remarkably, people are still making the decision to not get insurance. And I think that when we talk about the uninsured in America, one of the things that wasn't even grasped by the administration or by anybody that came up with these laws is the fact that some people just choose not to be insured. And because the cost of health care continues to rise, people still make the decision that if it's going to cost me less money not to have it, I'm going to continue not to have it. It's a decision they continue to make. But I've seen this for years, Chris, when I would go out to enrollment meetings and I'd see employers who are all doing the right thing. They're providing benefits for their employees with some little cost sharing to premium, and employees would say, I don't want $25 coming out of my paycheck for health insurance. And I still see those employees making those same decisions today. So while there's a lot of uncertainty about the law and there's a lot of things that people don't understand, this particular provision, these hefty tax increases that are coming year over year, these are things that are not uncertain. They've been out there for a long period of time. As you mentioned before, people have made the choice to say, I'd rather pay the penalty than to purchase health insurance.
Yeah, and so here's the problem, too. When you pay the penalty, it doesn't go to the insurance companies. It goes to the federal government. So as more and more people, and typically the folks making these choices, and you back me up or you correct me if I'm wrong, Tina, the people making these decisions are who we call the young and invincibles, those who maybe only need to see the doctor once or twice a year, if that, and they say, I don't want to spend Obamacare price tag money on health insurance, so it's less expensive for me to pay the penalty, which goes to the federal government, not the insurance companies. So what does that force the insurance companies to do when they don't have the young and invincibles paying in? They do what?
They raise the prices. And so we've seen steady increases in insurance. I mean, despite what information we were given in the beginning of this law, that this is going to help get health care costs down because you're going to get what I call the bulletproof, especially the young males who don't feel like they need health insurance. They never go to the doctor. They've never seen the inside of an emergency room, and they just feel like they don't need insurance. They don't need to pay for it. And they're continuing that process. And if you're not collecting premiums on the healthy and you're only getting premiums from the sick, there's not enough money there for the insurance companies. And so they continue to raise their rates.
Yeah, let me give you a scenario. By the way, Tina Macey is my guest right now. She's with Synergy Benefits, a group that helps employers all over the United States develop and implement cost-effective benefit programs. That's getting harder and harder to do. Let me put out a scenario. You tell me whether it's true or not. Employers all over the country are saying, oh, my goodness, Obamacare was implemented so well. We know exactly what's going on. We know exactly what our commitment is, and we can make business plans 5 or 10 years in the future. How many folks are giving you that feedback?
You know what? This morning I was not aware I was going to be on a comedy show. I'm not prepared for all the hilarity. Yeah. Employers are definitely not saying that. They're extremely uncertain about what's going on, and they're not even certain about who they should cover, who they have to cover. And, the companies I feel, worse for are the companies that don't have, benefit advisors like the people here at Synergy, and who we plan with our groups and to let them know specifically, these are the employees that you have to cover. This is the amount of insurance you have to provide for them. But what it's creating is this huge thing of underemployment and underinsured. So where costs were supposed to go down and benefits were supposed to be more affordable, the benefits, actually, employers are making decisions to go with higher out-of-pocket costs, which is creating, a level of underinsurance. And then they're using underemployment methods, so the unemployment rates may not be going down, but underemployment is a huge factor because they're saying, my intention is not to have a bunch of full-time employees who I have to offer insurance benefits for. But they never had to worry about before how many hours that person was working. If that person needed to work more hours to maybe make more money and they were able to do that, that was a great thing for that person to make extra, side money, maybe for Christmas, maybe for a birthday gift for a child. And now those employers are saying, we're going to strictly abide by, if we hired you for part-time work, we're going to strictly abide by those number of hours, and you're not going to get any additional hours. And so it creates a huge problem, not just for the employers, but for the employees, the consumers as well.
One of the biggest wet blankets on productivity in the United States of America has been and will continue to be Obamacare, as long as it is imposed on we the people. Tina Macey, first off, tell Ed, you did a great job. I'm glad you're able to stay. Ed Hodson was out of town, folks, and so Tina boldly stepped up to the plate, and, man, I had no idea you were a stand-up comic either, so I appreciate you being here from Synergy Benefits, an outfit that helps employers all over the U.S. develop and implement cost-effective benefit programs. Have a great weekend, lady. Appreciate it.
Thank you. You too.